Now, there is no shortage of YouTube videos and social media posts where parents are bragging about their child reading fluently at 3 years old. Hey, great! Another super child reading savant. Now, you're either entertained or discouraged. And I think it's safe to assume that you clicked on this thumbnail because you've watched those videos and you've asked yourself, when is my child going to read like that? Or my child's still mixing up their letters, and how will they ever catch up? Or how will my child learn to read when they can't even sit still? You, my friend, are caught in the comparison trap. Once you travel down that rabbit hole, there's no telling how far your child's self-esteem will plummet. Not only are we going to break free from this soul-crushing habit, we're going to redirect that anxious energy into a powerhouse of inspiration that will help your child grow at a pace that is tailored to the way they learn and have them beaming with confidence and joy in the process. Ready to feel a whole lot better? Ready to break free from the comparison trap? Let's get started. Now, we all do it. We're setting our own benchmarks and comparing ourselves with individuals who have either succeeded or have made significant improvements in the very thing we're trying to achieve. It could be a weight loss goal, conquering debt, or achieving financial independence. It's how we tell ourselves we're on the right track or how far we've veered off course. So when our child isn't reading as well as expected, we feel anxious. Other kids are reading well. Why isn't mine? Compound that with a profound sense of guilt, as if somehow we've failed them. This is no way to live. Comparing your child's progress to any other child is not the benchmark we're looking for. Not when it comes to reading. Most importantly, think about it from your child's perspective. The psychological repercussions alone make the comparison trap a lethal dose of self-confidence poison. Do you hear the figurative sound of a toilet flushing? There goes your child's self-esteem. But you might be saying, Mark, we need benchmarks. We need to know what's normal, or else how does one gauge success? Well, I'm here to tell you that what is normal and what should be considered successful is relative to the learner, not the task itself. Let me explain. Now, last year, I had a kid in my class who could read at a grade 5 level. Now, have I ever mentioned that I teach pre-kindergarten? The boy's 4 years old. That doesn't happen every day. His 10-year-old brother reads twice as fast as I do. Should that embarrass me? Make me throw in the towel? No, I love books way too much, and I refuse to compare myself with anyone else. Neither should you. I can still enjoy a great novel, reading it the way I read. Now, I've taught over 600 children, and I can honestly tell you that every one of them learned differently from the other. Your child's reading journey, their voyage to fluency, will differ from other children. Why? Well, reading involves multiple cognitive processes that tap into different regions of the brain. Other factors include the speed at which your child grasps a concept of mapping sounds with letters. And memory skills will vary from one child to another, and even your child's distinct personality and disposition come into play. Now, knowing how your child learns and assimilates new information will help you tailor achievable goals and benchmarks that are designed specifically for the growth and potential of your child and no one else's. So how can we make way for winning when you're constantly falling back in the comparison trap? We need to stop, to break free once and for all. So how to stop the comparison trap and build confidence? Well, let's look at 5 ways. The first is to focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of asking, why isn't my child reading yet? Maybe we ask, what small progress have they made this week? Maybe they recognized a new letter or remembered a new sound. Celebrate those wins. The second, find their unique learning style. Now, some kids love decoding new words with phonics. Others learn through storytelling, movement, or music. If your child isn't clicking with one method, try a different approach. The key is engagement, not a rigid timeline. I go into greater detail about how to find your child's unique learning style and how to tailor your lessons accordingly in my new book, Teach Your Child to Read, The Ultimate Guide. You'll find a link in the description below. The third is to read with them, not to them. Make reading a shared experience. Instead of pushing them to read alone, we want independent reading bad, but this time we take turns reading, use audiobooks, or act out stories together. When reading feels fun, confidence naturally grows. The fourth is to embrace mistakes as learning moments. No child reads perfectly every time. Mistakes are signals of growth. Instead of correcting harshly or punctuating mistakes, say, "And that was a tough word, but look how close you got," and show them the right way. In a separate video, I discuss strategic ways to correct different kinds of mistakes in a way that yields outstanding results and builds confidence every time. In the meantime, a practical suggestion might be to create a stumble box. Each time your child stumbles with a word, write it down, place it in the box, practice it later. It needs to feel like a challenge or a game, not a punishment. Replacing judgment with positivity teaches your child resilience. They'll learn to see mistakes as part of the process, not as proof of their falling behind. And 5, set realistic goals and rewards. Now, once you have a better idea as to how your child learns, you will be better equipped to create achievable, bite-sized goals and benchmarks that build confidence a heck of a lot faster than lofty, one-size-fits-all targets. If your child reads an extra sentence today compared to yesterday, that's progress worth celebrating, bringing us full circle to celebrating those wins, no matter how small. Now, one example of something bite-sized might be to learn 2 new sight words per week, or to identify the rhyming words in a favorite poem. Celebrate with a fun reward, such as a homemade certificate or a special bedtime story. Setting tangible goals helps your child see how far they've come. A child who feels proud of small victories is less likely to compare themselves to their peers. Now, you are not failing your child. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. Even if you have given in to the comparison trap in the past, all is not lost. Seeing other children read fluently while your child struggles can be heartbreaking, and you're not alone. The fear of falling behind that whispers, "What if they never catch up?" That's real. But remember this, you compared because you cared. The motive is in the right place. Give yourself that at least. But now you know better, and the pitfalls of comparing your child with another only lead to self-doubt and anxiety. Yes, as we have discovered, it's perfectly possible to be caring without comparing. Now, I've included a free downloadable resource called The Comparison Trap, loaded with more practical and encouraging suggestions to help you get back to what really matters without the guilt. Link is in the description below. So to all you lovely families out there, stay wonderful, and I'll see you in the next video.